Okay, so I really want to go over this James Somerton apology video because apparently he made it and deleted it. So that makes me really interested. Apparently he made content that was just basically stealing people's content and using it as his own. Uh, Almost never crediting anyone. And there have been a lot of people complaining until finally H Bomber guy finally called him out and he like disappeared. So I'm really curious about what this guy has to say for himself.
Hi everyone. I'm sorry for taking so
Oh gosh.
long to make this video or to say anything. I'm in the hospital. I've been in the hospital for a little over a week.
Okay.
I tried
Wow.
I tried to do something really stupid.
What what's with all this dead air? I don't mean to be harsh. It's just starting off an apology video with that makes like people instantly, you're trying to make people feel bad for you. And it sounds so mean because obviously it's really sad, but that has nothing to do with this. I don't know. It's hard. It's really sad. What's with all this? You could have cut this out.
I'm here now because before I did it, I called my dad to talk to him one more time, and he figured out something was wrong and called paramedics or 911 or...
Okay.
They got here, and I woke up in the hospital, and yeah,
Okay, so it's already been a minute into the video, minute and a half. He hasn't said anything about it's 34 minutes, which is a pretty long time, but it's like, is he just trying to gain sympathy? I mean, he looks pretty upset, but thinking about the things he did over and over and over to people directly to their face, pretending like he wasn't doing it, it's this doesn't help your case, even though it's very sad.
Anyway, I'm not trying to make this a sob
Absolutely
story.
terrible.
I'm just trying to explain why I've been so quiet. I had a friend from back home. I'm checking my emails and stuff.
Okay.
And
What's up with this? Cut it out. Cut it out. Like,
but anyway,
he's leaving this in on purpose. It feels a little like a little bit like manipulation.
I want to say that I'm really, really sorry. Really.
Okay.
Really sorry.
2 minutes in.
For this stuff in the videos, not crediting people, and for a lot of videos, you know, I did the opening titles thing, and I tried to put like, this is based on this person's research or this person's book, but I know now that wasn't enough. That wasn't okay.
But no, that's actually not true. That's not true. There were a lot of times where he didn't say anything. He just like put it in as his own work, and he claimed things were his own work afterwards too. That's not really the truth. If you go watch H Bomber Guy's video, it's just that it's 4 hours long. That's why I didn't know what to kind of I didn't know if I should include it on my channel or not because it's really long. I could cut it into pieces, I guess, but basically he, yeah, over and over stole people's work, articles and things, and would read them word for word on his videos and claim it was his own idea. So, and it wasn't just once. Again, it was like many times. Most of his content was that. So he very rarely credited people.
There were a lot of times that stuff just got put in and there was no attempt at crediting anybody.
There we go, finally. Why? It's so easy. I don't understand.
Really sorry. And I'm not sorry that I got caught. I'm sorry for ever doing it. I honestly didn't realize that I was hurting people.
I feel like that's like the first thing you learn about writing in school, like any English class or whatever, plagiarism.
And now that I know that I was hurting people,
yes.
Really sorry.
Okay.
I lost my best friend because of this. Nick and I had been best friends since 2011 or 12.
But that's what. But you did this, so.
And then he lived in Ottawa, and I moved to Ottawa so that we could be like friends in person. And then we moved back to. I moved back to Nova Scotia, and Nick came with me, and then
I mean,
eventually
normal people are going to move away from you if you do stuff like this. Like that's how it's going to work.
For 7 years, 8 years.
Okay.
We lived together for a really long time, and he hasn't spoken to me since this happened.
Dude.
Sorry, I said I wasn't going to make this a sob story.
It's been a sob story this entire time.
But again, I'm really sorry for the things that I did in the videos.
I don't get it.
People's work.
It's so weird to do this.
Crediting them properly.
It's weird to do this and then be called out multiple times and then still keep doing it. Like, I don't understand. It's so weird. If even one person is saying you took their work, it's like, that's a horrible, or copying. Like, he would read word for word people's writings and then they would see it. Like, it got really popular and he would make tons of money off of their work just reading. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like that's it. It's that simple. You kept doing it when people would call you out. Bizarre.
Or at all. I also want to apologize for the misinformation.
Makes no sense.
And just outright lies.
The second you get called out for not crediting, That's when you should start crediting instantly. Right there. Start crediting. I don't, just so easy.
I honestly say that I never intended for any of that stuff to be in the videos. In most cases, I didn't write it, but I should have.
Oh, this is what we're going to do.
channel,
We're
with my
going to
name on
blame
the
someone
channel. I
else.
should have been.
Oh my God, he's blaming other people, isn't
I
he?
should have been more diligent about fact checking and stuff, because there was a lot of really stupid shit in there.
Okay, we've taken a turn.
It's so easy to check, and I just never did. I just took it for granted.
Not just check, just credit. It's simple. He just blamed someone else, if y'all caught that.
I want to thank H Bomber Guy and his team for setting up the fund. To make some money available for the authors that were wrong.
Why? Because you don't have to pay it? You should be paying it.
Analysts and writers and...
Why don't you pay it?
I want to help somehow. I don't know how. A lot of
money would help.
I've seen a lot of people online saying
outside
piece I apparently make, and they're way overestimating.
Okay, well, still, it doesn't matter. It was 100% not even your own work. So anything you made, I mean, it mostly needs to go to them. But he said he doesn't know what to do to help. These outside people had to come in and save the people you wronged. Obviously, the answer is to pay them.
Beyond the fact that Nick and I split everything 50-50, they're still way overestimating how much money came in.
But we don't know that.
And the Toronto area is expensive, so there's not really any kind of savings.
But you can afford it.
Home
that says something.
Really soon.
See what I'm saying? What he means is the money's spent. That's what I think. Oh man. Cut. Don't cut.
There's nothing for me here. And
there's a lot of dead space.
You know, like I said, it's really expensive.
Which you paid.
And so I want to thank them for setting up that fund. And I want to help somehow. The only thing I can think of right now,
I shouldn't laugh, but it's kind of funny
to make the videos, most of the videos, public again. And every month I can send the ad revenue from all of the past videos. Because there were plenty that didn't have any uncredited stuff in them.
That's a risk. That's definitely a risk.
But I can make them public again, and then every month I can send the AdSense to either I can send it to H Bomber Guy's team that they can add to the fund, or I can start a fund myself. Every month I can publicly say how much money was made on the AdSense and show it, and send that to the writers and stuff every month. I don't know what the system for that would be, but
actually it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. I don't trust him. If he were to do that for the next year or so, then okay, we could come back to it. But I don't trust that. But it's actually very simple. And I don't know if it's good for him to even make those things public again. They're already upset. It's like the authors and things, they're already upset. It's like, kind of messed up. We can't trust you anyways. So, and if you're not going to get income from that, where are you going to get income from? He's probably going to be tempted to reach into that. It would be very simple. Make them all public. Put every single credit in all the descriptions and contact each author and offer them an amount. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if people would really like that. I think the damage is already done, you know?
I'd be more than happy to do that.
Let me know what y'all think. Is that a good idea or not? I don't know.
You know, some of the videos, like the killing stalking video, brought in like a pretty decent amount of money every month, so that would be helpful, I think.
What? He's so vague.
I also put either in the description or the pinned comment.
Every single author and things, yes.
The names of the authors.
Quickly now.
So that anyone watching the video knows where all of the information came from. That it wasn't me going out doing journalism. I never thought anyone thought that I was doing like journalism and stuff.
Really? Because okay, I saw a few examples of his videos and they were kind of specific, pretty specific on reporting things.
Did, but the people who actually were doing it should have been given the credit that they deserve.
I mean, you took these from journalists, so it is journalism.
A video.
Not to speed this up.
They did the hard work and they deserved the credit. Sorry about that. Phone stopped recording.
See if this is too fast or not.
Yes, they deserved credit, and
dead air.
When it was something.
Maybe he didn't want to edit, though. To be fair, like at the same time, I always criticize creators who make apology videos that do too many jump cuts, because then I think, okay, what did you cut out there that I didn't see? But I don't know. It's like, either way, I guess it's just uncomfortable to watch an apology video. I guess that's it. But there are a lot of
like the recent
quiet moments.
History of Hollywood videos. Right there in the opening credits, I put Vito Russo's name that was adapted from his book, The Celluloid Closet. Same thing went for the Gay Panic video and the Gay Holocaust video. The Gay Holocaust video was adapted from 2 books, and the Gay Panic video was adapted from a lot of journalism.
All right.
And
he just got through saying he didn't think people thought it was journalism. He just said he got it from journalism.
I put their names right at the beginning of the videos.
Okay. But there are a lot of people who claimed, like, okay, sometimes he would add like half of the authors, and then the other ones he would just leave out for some reason. I don't know why.
I understand.
That's so weird.
Yeah, that's not how citation works. Now, I understand that. I get it.
You do?
And I want to do better. I know a lot of people hate me. Yeah.
You just kept going.
But I want to try and do better. At some point, I'd like to make videos again.
You would have to completely redo.
I'd like to do videos that are fully sourced, where I will put a link to the script where you can find all of the sources.
Yeah, but that's only part of the problem. Like, you can't just get a whole entire book of someone's and just like read chapters and then, like, I get putting it in the description is one thing, but it shouldn't be your entire video. Do you know what I mean? There's like a percentage thing, I remember. It shouldn't be more than a certain percentage of somebody else's work, or else it's not properly done. So if he just like reads chapters from a book and puts the name in the description, that's kind of not enough. I think you should just stay away from this.
So that everyone is properly given the credit that they deserve. Any kind of research that's done, credit for any B-roll that's used, whether it's like stock footage or movies or TV shows or video games or anything like that. Have it all in there. I would like to become a really, really good example of giving proper credit.
You're not going to be that.
For writers and journalists.
Just stay away from it is the better option.
A lot of you watching this aren't really going to care, and you would rather I just disappear. But I would like to try to do better. I never
Why now?
Ever intended to hurt anybody. I never thought that's what I was doing. Before I
don't know, man.
Before I went to the hospital, I read a lot of stuff from people who were really hurt. Not just authors and stuff, but people who watched my videos who were hurt by stuff in them.
Yeah, if you're going to deceive your audience, they're going to be upset.
People think that I hate ace people and women and bisexual people and lesbians, and that's not true.
Ooh, I'm not totally sure on that. I remember that segment, but I guess I'd have to go over it again.
It's not true. I'm sorry that stuff made it into videos that just shouldn't have been there. Misinformation and lies. I promise you I did not write that stuff.
Dang, it sounds like he's speaking normally, but it's in 1.25. Just realize that. It sounds so normal.
I should have been a lot more exacting when Nick and I would be editing scripts, but I promise you that those are not, I don't think those things. I specifically want to apologize to asexual people who feel like I just completely delegitimized you.
So all the groups are mad at you? Dude.
Nick,
I don't know.
I know it's kind of like, you know, no two gay people are exactly the same and no two ace people are exactly the same. But I kind of, when it came to that, I would just kind of run with Nick's judgment and his observations and stuff like that.
Did you hear that? Did you hear that? He's blaming Nick. He's blaming Nick.
I'm not trying to throw Nick under the bus, which a bunch of people
you just did
saying that I was setting him up as doing, which is not true.
You just
this
did.
The whole thing, Nick and I were 50-50 partners. It wasn't, I hired him to have a scapegoat or something like that. I never hired Nick. Nick and I were roommates for years before I started doing YouTube videos. And then people started watching them. And I asked Nick if he wanted to help me write them. And he said yes. And we started splitting first the AdSense and then the Patreon and then the sponsorships. We just split everything.
All right.
Nick was never supposed to be a fall guy.
But you just said you trusted Nick's judgment on those things that people are mad at you for.
But yeah, I don't think those things. And I don't think Nick does either. I think it was just how fast we were writing stuff and how fast we were putting videos out. It was too fast. And we weren't putting the care into them that needed to be put into them. I've seen a lot of people on social media and other YouTubers.
I don't know, man. Is it that hard to not be super hateful to groups and things like that? Is it really that hard? to not do and to not notice, or to like notice. It doesn't seem like it would even exist if you didn't feel that way. You know what I'm saying?
About
Just
me,
a thought.
other H bomber guy was not one of them. Just want to be clear about that.
Ooh.
Except I've
Did you
never
watch
said
the video? Because it was pretty harsh. Like the bulk of the video was about him. Okay.
of Hawkeye and Telos was never a scam. It was never a grift or anything like that. I swear it was not. It is not. In the next couple of days, I'm going to send out a message to the Telos supporters on Indiegogo and explain the whole situation.
Oh, is that his movie company thing?
Because
I think that's what that was.
We were not super clear about everything that was going on.
It seemed like a scam.
So I understand why it seems like we weren't doing anything, but we were.
It really seemed like
we were doing a lot of work on Telos. We just weren't talking about it because we made that initial first announcement for Final Girl, and that fell through, and I'll explain that to the message I send out to the supporters, which I'm sure will end up on Reddit or somewhere.
Dude, okay, I feel like if I have people's money and I have a responsibility to give them something for it, like, I want to keep them updated on every single thing, every single minute. You know, not just like make them wonder until way later, because that's just disrespectful, you know?
And after that, we didn't want to talk about it too much until we had something really concrete, and I'll explain all of that in that message.
You shouldn't have done it like that. Put every little thing.
Was and is not a grift. I was never going to take the money and run. None of the money that came in for Telos was ever going to be paying me or Nick. It was going to be paying queer actors and artists, musicians.
Okay, where is the money?
I know there's been lots of talk about budgets and all of this stuff, and people saying that I'm really stupid for thinking that a movie could be made for that little money, but there are examples of it being done, and I actually do have a work ethic.
Yeah, but you're a businessman. He has a business degree, if I remember correctly. You're not like some... You know, it's like somebody who's been dreaming of making films since they were born, and just like, it would take somebody of that caliber to create something that big on such little money. You know, it wouldn't take just a business guy. And the fact that you're a business guy makes it more worrisome. It's like, yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, anyway, I do want to keep making videos. I know a lot of you won't watch them, and that's fine. But I really liked making videos.
All right.
We ended up making a lot of videos we didn't want to make, because people were asking for them, and so there were a lot of videos we made that we didn't want to make, and I think those videos are very clear on which ones those were.
Okay.
One of them never got officially released. It was released to patrons. Some patrons have shared it to other people before all the videos went private.
Was it a bad
people
one?
hate the analysis that Nick and I did on it.
I want to hear from Nick.
And so maybe it's good that never...
Because he's put his name in this a lot.
Because maybe it would have hurt people. And I don't want that. But I do want to make videos again sometime. I'd love to do like retrospectives on important gay movies. if you watch the channel Be Kind Rewind, they're an amazing channel that do a lot of retrospectives on older
Mm,
Hollywood movies, and I would love to do that for gay movies. A lot of gay movies people my age and younger just have never heard of, things like Torch Song Trilogy and Long Term Companion and stuff like that. Movies from the 70s and 80s and the
man,
90s and
I don't trust you though.
things
It's
that were
gonna take
like
a lot
really
of work.
influential for gay cinema that no one talks about. And I'd like to talk about those, not just those movies, but how they got made and stuff like that. I would love to do something like that. I swear on my mother's grave
Don't
that
say
there will
that.
be no copying people. There will be no copy and pasting. Every source will be cited in a document and on screen. Because I actually liked doing research.
But finding someone else's article and copy pasting that to your video and reading the whole script is not research. I'm just saying.
And articles and stuff like that. The part of me that was lazy was the copy and paste part. Instead of just putting it into my words,
Right, just put in your
and
words.
citing them properly and giving them credit, that's where the laziness came in. I wasn't trying to be malicious. That was
Okay.
just laziness. And I promise, for anyone who does watch the videos that I make going forward, I promise that will never happen again. I welcome the highest level of scrutiny on the new videos.
I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. Who's going to keep watching this guy? Maybe eventually some
Patreon,
people would.
I'm going to reactivate it.
Why?
Because I saw a lot of people on social media saying that I was probably going to reactivate it right on January 1st so that everyone could get a surprise billing and I could take the money and run. And no. First of all, that was never my plan, and I'm not going to do it.
But then why are you reactivating it?
Now, so that anyone who wants to leave, which I imagine will be the vast majority, can leave and not have to be worried about being billed again in January.
Why are you reactivating it at all? Because there are going to be people who haven't seen you. They have things to do for the holidays. They aren't just caring about what you're doing. So if you reactivate it, there are going to be plenty of people who get charged when they didn't want to be charged. Not everybody's just watching this like me.
Yeah.
So uncomfortable.
In closing, I again incredibly sorry.
Okay.
And again, I'm not sorry because I was caught. I'm sorry because I honestly didn't know how
You
much I
are.
was hurting people.
You really didn't make any changes.
And how much harm I was bringing to the community, because that's not ever what I intended. I wanted the channel to be a safe place. I spent so much time deleting comments that were hateful. I recently found out that I wasn't being notified about, that I wasn't seeing comments that were in replies to other comments. So there were plenty of hateful comments in the comment section that I wasn't seeing that were plenty hateful. And
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Doesn't matter. There were other ways that people contacted you and you just ignored it.
But I wanted the channel to be a safe place. And it ended up not being a safe place. And for the misinformation, that kind of falls into two categories. One, I did the wrong research into historical things, and other things, they're not what I wrote.
Okay.
Again, thank you to H Bomber Guy and his team.
Stop thanking him.
The fund for the writers.
You're not thankful.
I'd like to try to contribute to that somehow. So
somehow means money. It's that simple. He's dancing around that.
If it's okay to make the videos public and send all of the public again and send all, it won't be all the videos because some of them had to be taken down because sponsors wanted them taken down.
Ooh.
But I can put the videos back up.
That's how it goes.
With the sources properly put in, either for the, I guess for the videos that would be going up from 0, I could actually put sources like in the videos, which would be good.
God, it's such a simple thing to do. I mean, even then, like I'm saying that, but even then, like just reading an entire piece without any of your own input is not cool.
For the other ones that would just be made live again, I could put them in a pinned comment, because I think people read pinned comments more than they read the descriptions. Descriptions like disappear in a lot of places. Something like that, something so that I can try and it won't make up for what I did, but it's just something.
Ugh, jeez.
So I'm really, really, really sorry.
Okay.
I hurt a lot of people that I really respect, and that really sucks. And
I'm sure it does. But if Nick hasn't spoken to him since this has happened, then why is Nick responsible, according to him? Like, he hasn't spoken to him since he hasn't spoken to James since this has happened, meaning he's angry, he's unhappy, he doesn't want to be involved with this guy. So I need to hear from Nick. I want to know what Nick has said.
Nick, if you're watching this, I don't you're probably not, but I want you to know I miss you. And yeah, I want to do better. I want to do better. I want to prove that I can do better. I don't expect anyone to just give me the benefit of the doubt. But I want to show that I can do better. So I hope you'll let me do that. Again, I'm really sorry. I'm sorry of the things I did. I'm sorry that I disappointed you. I promise, going forward, I will do better.
I don't know, man.
And I'm really sorry.
Yeah. Oh, guys. That felt very okay. Plenty of his main points he blamed on Nick. The first thing he started out with was going to the hospital and giving full details on why we should feel bad for that. I don't feel good about it. It's not a good apology. Most of these apologies aren't that good. Because the reality is they did this stuff on purpose. That's just the truth, right? These people do this stuff on purpose and they get caught, and then they, in a big way, like H Bomber guys, I think that video has 11 million views. So like, yeah, but if that had been the first call out, maybe he could like make up for it and keep going. But there were people complaining way before his video. It's not like this is the first call out that James Somerton has gotten for plagiarism. So I don't trust this guy. Yeah, that's my take. I don't trust this guy, and the apology was kind of cringe, to be honest. But yeah, I'll leave this in the description because it is not on his channel. He deleted it. You have to kind of search for it a little bit, but I'll leave this copy in the description if you want to go see it yourself. And I will see y'all in the next video.